Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday evening, 8 p.m., and you're listening to the home of Commodore 64 remixes, Slay Radio. Let us spice up your evening with Slaygon's incoherent ramblings.
Anywho Hazel.
And Ziona's pro dance moves to the best selection of remixes, sits, and demo scene tracks. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this thing. Slay tuned.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Interesting start.
Yeah, it's an interesting start, especially that we are 5 minutes late. I'm sorry about that. And this time I still didn't have the time to say hi on IRC. So hello on IRC, hello on Facebook, hello on YouTube, wherever you are listening to us today. I'm Ziona.
I'm Slaygon.
And today we do a kind of special occasion because, well, since it's 30th of May, in about 2 weeks, well, slightly a bit more than 2 weeks, but 2.5 weeks, there will be a very special event happening in the UK in Hull. And this event will be the first in the world that actually only playing orchestrated 64 remixes. So by only 64 related, I mean that there were symphonic attempts to do game music. So in that sense, it's not the first, but 64 only, definitely it's the first. And since it's a really grandiose event, we don't know if there will be any other one. Today you can count on a short interview that we did with Rob Hubbard related to this event, because he did plenty of orchestrations there, and he was involved in the entire organizing the event. And you can also add some details here, Slaygon, since you are also involved with this event a little bit.
A little bit. Well, I don't have any details right now. I can't think of a single fucking thing to say.
Okay.
I'll get back to that later on, I guess.
Yeah, now we just start the show and he's still busy with technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird start. We kind of didn't actually stream to the relays.
Oh.
We did stream audio and video and everything to Facebook and YouTube, but not our own relays.
Okay.
So yeah, that's sorted now, I hope.
Okay.
So you should hear us wherever you are listening.
And are they seeing us as well?
Yes. We
Okay.
are on camera.
So hi everyone. And also you can win today tickets to the concert. Just so you know, we have 4 tickets to give away. So in case you were on the fence and you couldn't make up your mind if you would have to come, then please participate later on in our quiz and you can win tickets to the concert. So then you only have to travel there.
We haven't really figured out how to do that competition yet, so we'll kind of iron things out during the show while we play songs.
It's all set. People can send us private messages.
But I'll explain to you when we play the next song. The issue I have right now. But so, do you have a song we can play?
Well, in the case that you don't have by hand right now the symphonic preview, and I do, but my computer is...
Which one?
Greenberry, for instance, if you have it anywhere.
I have a version of it.
Oh, hang on a minute. Here I have 8-bit symphony work in progresses.
Yeah, but those are kind of old now.
What can I do with you? Not that old.
Play a Glenor Brown track for now.
Hang on a minute. This one is April 9th, so it's not that old. You cannot say that it's old.
Which one is it?
Forbidden Forest. Here, there we go.
Can I?
Yes, you can, but others are waiting.
Yes, I know, but if you're gonna play this, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that
cool.
works.
Okay. So, if it loads up, because it doesn't really want to.
It will. Give it a second. Don't do it again. Just give it a second.
Well, I'm giving it a second, but in case it doesn't.
Oh yeah, by the way, before we get something playing here, please request symphonic stuff today.
Yeah, that's our topic. And it looks like our music player is killing itself now.
Or it is the track itself that is broken.
No, I loaded up another... oh my god, that took a while. Yes, Jesus Christ. Okay.
It's warming up the hard drive, which is gone down to sleep mode, I guess.
Okay.
So it's going to be better from going forward.
You're going to hear now a work in progress from April, this year, April. The date is April 9th, and this is definitely an 8-bit symphony preview project. so you are not able to connect to IRC, you say?
I am not.
That's not really nice. And your hard drive is even less nice to me right now. It looks like it's horrible, the speed right now. But
I know. I need to replace. There's like 3 2 terabyte drives in there, and one of them is breaking, I think. So, and it's in a RAID system, so it's a bit weird. Anyway,
that's not really great news, but Slaygon is not only away from IRC because he wants to be. No, just kidding. He was busy with the technical setup earlier, but now it seems like he's unable to join. But I think anyone joining on Facebook or YouTube will be able to communicate with him as well. Just like with the cats who join us at the moment.
Hey, Zelda.
So you can have message for them as well, and I think that we will start to carry on with the interview with Rob slightly after 9, and we are waiting for your symphonic requests today. There are plenty of great symphonic remixes made, and that is one of the reasons why I would ask Risto to ask something symphonic. Because he says he wants to hear Driller, and he added the message, "See you in Hull, Rob." Unfortunately, Rob Hubbard wouldn't be live with us today. The interview, which was a phone call, was recorded. So just so you know, guys, unfortunately you cannot have questions today for him, but
well, you can come to Hull and ask him in person.
Definitely. And you can win tickets later on. So stay with us and prepare your ears for some audio puzzle.
Indeed.
And it looks like Malthus has the first valid request of the evening, which is Last Ninja 2 Central Park Orchestral Shuriken by Michwan Hayden. So, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Okay.
Konnichiwa. 後ほど See you later.
I'm sorry, my Japanese is a bit rusty.
Is it now?
Now and forever.
Now and forever. And
Oops.
if we talk about Last Ninja, it seems like we got a freshly baked preview from Chris Abbott. So
Nice.
So imagine that we can play this for first time for everyone, and it's important to add to this preview that it's not being played full length in the concert because it's edited to fit together with Wastelands. So this is a bit special, and he adds going to be spellbinding live. Spellbinding, yes. My English is still rusty, as you know that. So it's amazing. I really hope that it's going to be played as it should be, because I just loaded it up and your hard drive doesn't like me today.
Oh, it's loaded. I can see that. So
Well, that
should be
is-
fine.
Yeah,
But you pulled it straight in there, did you?
Yes, I did.
So
I
let's
know.
do that, because now
I
because
know.
there's a problem with. Oh, it did. Ah, look, it did.
Yeah, okay. So it
That's
analyzed
excellent.
it, meanwhile loading
Yeah,
it up. That's
exactly.
excellent
Yeah,
to
I did
hear.
some changes in the settings earlier, but I didn't think I actually fixed that part. But apparently I did, which is good.
I thought you have no idea what you did, but you did something,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So indeed, and people don't forget to request symphonic tracks this evening, because that is what we are aiming for. We do a symphonic show and we want to show how amazing 64 sounds in a symphonic form, orchestrated by an entire orchestra. That sounds like repetitive.
Well, it's
within
not
a sentence.
orchestrated by an orchestra, it is played by an orchestra.
Yeah, okay.
It is orchestrated by Rob Hubbard, Chris
That
Abbott,
is very true.
etc.
Yeah, indeed. I confused it, so never mind. The orchestra is definitely playing the orchestrated pieces.
Let's hope so.
Yeah,
That would be
let's hope
helpful.
so. Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to see. Is the buzz gone now, by the way? Oh, hello, Andy Roberts. Mr. Canadian.
Mr. Canadian?
Yeah. Hold
Hi.
on. Could you pause the deck?
Yeah, I did. So, is there a humming? Any sort of humming?
I cannot hear any humming.
Me neither.
So, it might be the sound card that is actually encoding the stream. Which is a pity.
Not really good news.
No.
Especially not for orchestrated music.
No, not really. But then again, come to Hull and there won't be a buzz.
Oh, wow. That's a sort of marketing you would never expect. Okay. Well, let's hope that Chris Abbott's preview of that. Yeah, thank you. Chris's preview would sound great. And yes, we have about 16 days left until the concert. And keep up with us. You can win some tickets later on. We are giving away 4 tickets, not only for one person. So we aim for the first 4 people. Or if someone really, really, really wants it and states that he already has the ticket, but not the concert ticket, we can maybe give 2. We will see. So, yeah, this is what you have to prepare for. And now, Last Ninja Wastelands Loader by Chris, freshly baked review.
Hey, Puka.
So what do we know about this secret humming that we don't hear? It's a very tricky thing because I can tell you we don't hear anything, and probably I should try to start to listen to us maybe through the stream. Malthus said that it got even stronger
Yeah,
now.
I think it's the sound card that takes or gets the master out right before encoding. So I think there's something borked on there.
And ASDK, Puffy64 and Last Ninja 2 hymn is not really a symphonic piece.
Or orchestral.
Yeah,
or
as much as we love to play it, and we played it actually last week when we had a vocal show, now it's not really fitting to this framework. So
it's just lagging a week. So
yeah,
it's fine.
indeed, it's a delayed request. So what can I say? I think that now I'm going to make not an exception, that would be too much to say with Risto, but let's say that the man sitting almost next to me also participated in this enormous project, and he will have an entire album full of cinematic tracks attached to the Symphony 64 project. So
8-bit symphony nowadays.
Yeah,
It's
nowadays
changed
8-bit symphony, but I remember when the Kickstarter was running, it was Symphony 64.
Yeah.
And since he does this cinematic kind of thing, of course it will also contain a lot of orchestral arrangements. But this remix of him is like a few years old, right? And still it's considered some people's favorites. And yeah, that's why I think I can make it fit into today's...
Oh, so you're cheating.
Yes, a little bit, just a little bit, not much. But you were connected to this project, and we can say that the cinematic arrangement is, well, close to the orchestral things, even if it's not entirely the same. And in this track you certainly go rather electronic, but could be something cinematic as well, with a little bit of, push.
It's a bit of a stretch, but okay then.
Yeah, so Ace, now you heard the guidelines, so please request something symphonic. And now I'm going to play Risto, the Driller Impendeo Capitulus, one from Slaygon.
Oh, it's interesting.
What is interesting?
I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, I just started a watch party thingy. Blah. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of a very, very liberal interpretation of the rules today.
Yeah.
But the end bit there, the driller here, it's called Impendeo Capitulus 1, which means chapter 1. I was supposed to do a second chapter of that in orchestral style, so that was actually the track that got me into orchestral stuff to begin with.
Oh, very nice. Wow. That's nice. And any other story that connects to this track?
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
You just sat down and you
Well,
felt like doing it.
Well, yes, I got inspired. I think I wrote that in the song information page as well. That Elwood's version of Driller kind of inspired me to do that one.
Yeah, and it's a surprising thing that Elwood did a driller, since Elwood is a pretty cheerful musician in the matter of style, I think. So
DMC asks, so where is part 2? Well, you know.
Right, we know how many years. Well, now it's been 10 years, so that kind of makes it an anniversary. You can make the part 2 this year.
Yeah, well, maybe I will. Maybe it's a good idea to do it and actually put it on the Cinematic 64 thing.
I see.
So it might work.
Yeah, okay. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And don't forget, people, we have a symphonic topic today. And if you don't have any idea what to request, then we will show you some. Martus certainly has an idea, or one or two, because now he requested Crown Orchestral Menace edit by Markus Schneider.
Ooh.
One of my all-time favorite orchestral remixes. Oh, I have to show you also one of my favorite orchestral remixes then, I think.
I'm sure it's beautiful to look at.
Yeah. How would you say that properly?
Play it for you.
Okay, I have to play it for you. Here it comes. What a beautiful remix. I really remember still when I first heard this one. It was just amazing.
Amazing.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Definitely. Well, wasn't it for you?
Yes, it was.
Markus Schneider and
Markus Meider.
Markus Schneider. I don't even remember if I heard the original first or the remix first. I think that's a good question. Yeah, but at that point when I heard this, I was already into remixes. So that's not really a surprising thing. So yeah, very nice one. And it appears like people start to wake up now with the requests. So yeah, keep coming and keep requesting symphonic songs. We will have time for that because our interview with Rob Hubbard today won't be live. He was with us on phone call a few days before because he wasn't able to make it live. So unfortunately, but yeah, you will hear a bit of teasers how he feels about the concert and the preparations and some technical details about his early years as well. So stay with us because it's gonna be fun. Slightly after 9 we will start it, and I think that we will, since the entire interview takes about 25 minutes, we will play it in segments. So we might squeeze in some of your requests. So yeah, that's our plan for now at least. And Patrick Wilson via Facebook is asking, is Glyn R. Brown's Rustan saga on tonight's playlist, or
It is now.
Yeah, definitely it looks like it is now.
Oh.
And I don't know if by Rustan saga you mean anything specific. I have the classic Rustan prepared, that is for sure. And have you heard of any versions called Rustan saga? Or is
yeah,
this just
I have, but that's a different one.
That's
I
a
think.
different one.
Yeah,
Not on
I think
RKO.
it's different at least.
You think?
Rustan Saga is etc. or whatever.
Yeah, but it's not on RKO.
It's not.
No, it's
Oh
not.
no.
Oh no. Maybe he just forgot to upload it. And well, I can definitely prepare it from here as well.
Oh, that's good.
Not a biggie. So yeah, that's what we are going to continue with.
Rustan by Glyn.
Yay.
Chris Bailey on Facebook says, did this come before or after Hans Zimmer used the blah on everything he has ever done? Well, this was in 2004, I think, released in 2004. And Inception, which is where Hans Zimmer started using the blah, came in 2010.
Well, yeah, it very well might be. Yes, that was 2004, definitely. So very well might be that someone learned from someone. Who knows?
Hans Zimmer is following Glenn Brown on Facebook.
Really?
I don't know. But it would be fun.
That would be fun indeed. Yeah, and we still have very nice requests ahead now. It looks like people really woke up. So, next one is Max Levine's request, who wants to hear Alistair Brimble and Rambo Reloaded new movie coming out, he says.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think since we are preparing with the interview part here, maybe I will just press the play button now for you.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Left.
Conrad says, or some uneasiness which will make us feel power. Well, we are doing symphonic stuff today, so unless you know of a UNSI symphonic or orchestral track, then
Yeah, people might feel like they are falling asleep or some sort, but well, that's one way to handle orchestral music, but well, not all of them. Maybe I will play something more energetic orchestral music if you feel like. So yeah, I think I will after the next request actually. So then, yeah. We have the next request, which is a short one, and after that I'm going to play one of my all-time favorite orchestral remixes, and we still have requests ahead, and probably after my lined up request we will start to play the interview with Rob. So let's
hang
get to
tight.
it then.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So here is Methanoid, who wants to hear the Great Giana Sisters symphonic version, and this version was made by Havoc S. Havoc S, right?
I guess so.
Okay, I guess so.
Mhm.
So I guess so. We will play this. I guess so.
I guess so. Machine gun.
A short but lovely remix made by Havoc S. Havoc S. The Great Giana Sisters symphonic version. I'm happy to see that that more and more people are requesting, and Risto sends us a message to Sentak, Ziona, and Slaygon. And P.S. Did you watch the VM Hockey Finals 2019? No, I don't think
didn't
so.
even know they were on. So no.
Well, you know, hockey is a big thing around here. I don't know if you know that.
I used to watch it, but for some reason I didn't even know it was on now, so I have no idea.
Okay.
Been busy with other shit too, so...
Where are you
we
now?
watched, what was it called? Love, Death and Robots.
Oh yeah, that's a new Netflix series, and it seems like it's a very interesting concept. Yeah.
Like short episodes, 10 to 15 minutes or 10 to 20 minutes, and different stories in each episode. Of course, it would be boring to see the same story, but different characters and
it has
a bit like what was it you called it, like a little bit like
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror,
Yeah, a little bit like Black Mirror, but of course it's a 1 degree less serious, because it's first of all it's animated, and it's a bit like, I don't know, if you would do a short episode of Black Mirror but with animated characters, kind of. That kind of describes it, I think.
Yeah, kind of.
So I think that we should kickstart the interview, and we will do that after the next track, which is going to be my all-time favorite symphonic remixes. And this was so powerful, I think, in my life, that before that I didn't really listen to symphonic music. After that I started to. So Glyn was, he played a big role actually in my musical life. So yeah.
Thanks, Glyn.
Thank you, Glyn. It's amazing.
Well done, Glyn.
Definitely. And I think I'm not the only one. So
no, definitely not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not. So yeah, here comes Gordian Tomb Adventures by Glyn, and after that we will definitely start the interview.
Definitely.
Hello.
Hello, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hello.
Hi. Good to hear your voice. Question number one, your background and how that kind of connects to the 8-bit symphony. Right, so if you want to take it away, Ziona.
I would probably start with if you ever thought that your music will end up performed by an orchestra.
Well, that's an interesting question. I did an orchestral concert in 2005 in Leipzig, which was a version of a concert piece based on international karate that I did.
Yeah, it was a game music orchestral concert, I believe, right? So not only 64 related, but...
Yeah, it was this thing in Leipzig, 2005. I suppose, you know, it was always an ambition that Chris and I wanted to do an orchestral concert, but we didn't really, you know, imagine it was ever going to happen. And then through different circumstances, this came about.
So you started talking about it as early as 2005 then, I guess.
If not before then, because, you know, I'd done a couple of orchestral mock-ups back in, what year, 2000, I think it was.
Okay. The question is, did you have that in the back of your head when you were composing SIDs with 3 channels that they would ever be played by a real orchestra at some point?
Not really, no. When you're doing the SID stuff, you're just trying to make the best use of what you can. You know, just trying hard to do what you can with the severe restrictions of just having the SID chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did try to experiment with adding more channels, like with some of the SIDs you used one channel to do 2 bits of like melody and bass line, for instance.
You could like play a few tricks by getting one voice to swap around from different registers, so he would play a bass note and then play something else, you know, on and off beat. And then there was the kind of what we used to call wobble chords, where you're playing like notes with a fast arpeggio at 50 or 60 hertz to create those kind of wobble chords, which gives an effect of a harmony to a limited extent. And then later on, I managed to get a system using a volume register to produce a digital sample. So then I could try to get 4 channels working. So there was a few tunes that did that, like Arcade Classics had a guitar, and also, since I was the first person to do that, I managed to use 3 voice sample chords playing 4-bit resolution. So I suppose you could say that I had 6 channels working. Although,
so the attempt to get more voices out of your creations was there early on. Skate or Die was one of those, right? With samples.
Yeah. Skate or Die had like a sample chords, so it was 3 voice on a sample synth chord, and then the 3 channels of the SID mixed in with it. But I mean, it was really difficult to do that because you only had a few frequencies that you could use because of the fact that you were using the non-maskable interrupt at like 5,000 hertz or something, and if you tried to go much faster than that, you would crash the machine because you'd run out of processor power.
Yeah.
Can we ask, when did you start to think of yourself as a professional musician?
Oh, when? I don't know. I mean, something that you evolve. I mean, I started playing professionally when I was 18. So, I mean, I was earning a living from it when I was 18. So, I suppose you could call that professional. But even then, that was just from playing in a band, doing gigs with a band.
Yeah.
It's not until much later on that I suppose you regard yourself as being a professional musician.
I guess it's, like you said, it's scale or a progress, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. It's a progression from where you are, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose that, in a way, I was lucky because I never really had to do a proper job. except when I worked for Electronic Arts. I suppose that was a proper job, but it was still more kind of like doing music and writing code for games. So I never regarded that as being a real chore or a real, not like working in a factory or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I ask that if you wouldn't do music, like if there is a dimension where you don't do music right from the start, then what do you think you would work with?
I don't know. I suppose I would have been electronics engineer or chemical engineer or something like that.
Okay, that sounds interesting too.
Yeah. I always had an interest in electronics as well. Back in the early 80s, you used to get these electronic kits and used to be able to buy components and solder them and make little things like buzz boxes for guitars and things like that.
And I heard that you also were taking part of programming sometimes, right? Early on.
Yeah, I was very interested in the programming side of it because it was so new. It was so different, and it was interesting because the computer basically kept telling you that you were an idiot because nothing that you did worked. So it would keep crashing or it would like come up with a syntax error or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it was the challenge of trying to overcome that and trying to get something to work. So, I mean, you used to basically stop up most half the night working at something to try to get it to work and going to bed at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Yeah. You wrote your own music routine, didn't you?
Yeah.
But you didn't write an editor for it. Did you just type it in machine code, all of it?
Yeah, it was all, basically you had an assembler which could assemble 6502 mnemonics, and part of that was, apart from the instruction set, you had to have like dot byte hexadecimal statements.
Yeah.
And back in the early days, you couldn't really use a lot of labels because then your source code would be too big. So you had to use really short labels for your code so that keep your actual source code, when you store it to a cassette, keep it as small as possible.
Yeah. Tune that fucking violin, man!
until when were you involved with programming?
Basically, towards the end of the 90s, when everything became C++. I mean, I used to do some things in C, 68,000, 8086, which was the Intel, not the, yeah, the PC Intel processor was 8086,
Yeah.
8186. And then this thing called C++ came in. I suppose it was the development of C, and then they called it object-oriented programming.
Yeah, those pesky Danish people.
I think it was developed by Apple or somebody, you know.
I think it was some Danish dude, if I remember correctly. But anyway, besides the point.
Anyway, I didn't like it. I hated it.
Yeah, me too.
I hated C++, and I lost all interest in programming at that point.
Hmm.
I enjoyed the low-level 68,000, 8086 and 6502 and the Z80. I enjoyed that, but when it got to the C++ stuff then, and the fact that also at that time, Microsoft were pushing Windows as well, which meant that you couldn't write to the hardware anymore.
Right.
You had to use all their operating system calls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You couldn't take charge of the interrupt.
Yeah. All abstraction.
Yeah, PC, the IBM PCs only had one interrupt on a timer, and Microsoft basically shut you out from using it.
Yeah.
So that was not very interesting either.
Yeah, I guess it was like in the DOS times with protected mode, you could last do that.
Yeah, in the old-fashioned, yeah, I mean, I preferred DOS to Windows, to be honest.
Oh, so did I for the longest time.
When as soon as I got my Apple Macintosh, because everybody at EA started to have to use Macintoshes because a lot of the execs were ex-Apple people. As soon as I got an Apple Mac, I tried to find like the command line interface. It didn't have one. You
Yeah.
couldn't do anything on a Mac that wasn't basically through the mouse.
Yeah.
You couldn't get to a command line where you could type in and have a look at a directory of files.
Yeah. They've gotten better now, though.
Is that?
Yeah, they have a terminal. It's right there. It's a lot better now. It's actually based on Unix, so it's a full-flavored Unix in the bottom. So everything is basically a command line if you want to.
Yeah. I didn't mind working on the Macintoshes. You know, they used to cost twice as much as an IBM PC, but they crashed just as much as a PC used to crash.
Oh yeah.
Which also takes us to a question: what are you using these days?
I just use a Windows PC and a Windows laptop.
Any hardware connected to that, like synthesizers and stuff like that?
Not really, no. I have a keyboard. I have an old Roland synth that I use, but I don't really use a lot of synths. For all the recent stuff, I've been using Sibelius.
Yeah.
And there's a Swedish guys have written this thing called Note Performer, which you can use with Sibelius, and it's just a really powerful program. It sounds great with this Note Performer.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really cool way of working and writing and orchestrating at the same time.
Yeah. And you're using that setup to do the 8-bit symphony stuff, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Can we ask precisely to what degree are you involved with the 8-bit symphony? We partially know, but if you would declare this to the crowd, that would be also interesting for them, I think.
Well, there's like 6 of my tunes, my pieces that are involved, and I've done all the orchestration and arrangement, although some of the arrangement are derived from other people's arrangement. But I've then taken that and reworked it. And then I've been working with a couple of other people on the other pieces to get those into playable shape as well. So most of the pieces, I think, are pretty well done. And there's enough material in the pieces that people will recognize where they came from.
Yeah.
Like one of the pieces is the Imagine Ocean Loader, which has got some of Martin Galway's stuff, and you'll recognize all the themes that are in there.
I guess you must have a lot of work to do right before the concert now, right?
Well, the orchestration and arranging is all done.
Oh, cool.
That was done a few months ago. So we're at the stage where we're with the orchestra rehearsing the pieces now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've only got just under 3 weeks until the concert.
Yeah. How prepared do you feel?
You should ask me that on the Friday before. Ask me that the Friday before, I'll give you a better answer, I think.
Okay.
So you're kind of fully engulfed in all of this until the concert is over, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's a rehearsal on the Friday before, and there's like a rehearsal on the Saturday afternoon, and then the concert on the Saturday night, and I'll be involved in all that, and then probably get drunk afterwards.
Finally over.
Yeah. Probably have a few beers or a few glasses of wine, but yeah, definitely wind down, I think.
Wine down.
Exactly. Wind down the hatch.
Oh yeah, wind down, yeah.
What do you think is your biggest challenge related to the concert?
What's the biggest challenge?
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to anticipate everybody's needs. It's difficult to write when you don't know what everybody's abilities are, and difficult to write when you're not sure of everybody's expectations.
Yeah, I guess you have to know the instruments very well, right? When you do the instrumentation part.
Yeah, I mean, I play a few different instruments. That isn't so much a problem, but it's the knowing what the player's ability is, because some players are like very good and some people are like completely professional players, fully professional players who can play anything.
Yeah.
And trying to also keep within the certain bounds of not doing something which is really too adventurous, and then at the same time trying to do something which is not too simplistic. Trying to get that balance, I think, is difficult.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of balancing have been done on that, in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we heard that Monty on the Run challenged a lot of people already playing it live, so...
Yeah.
Speaking of challenges, by the way, for the Kickstarter, you had some SIDs there that you were going to create. So you have now created a few SIDs. So was it challenging to get back to that after so many years?
I would say it was more torture.
Could you explain the process of how that was going about?
Well, you know, I've got like a little bit of old EA source code, but I don't have any of my old stuff from the 80s source code. So I reverse engineered a few of my old tunes, you know, into source code. So I could try to figure out what on earth was going on with some of those things. I reverse engineered Sanction, Ace 2. I did all of Delta. I reverse engineered Nemesis, the Warlock, and Commando. And each one is different. There's different things in each one of those drivers. When I did the new SIDs, I had to have some kind of starting point and then work out how on earth this stuff worked, and then try to mentally put myself as how you try to work with just three voices and how you try to arrange things. And it's really difficult to do, to work under such a restriction.
Well, actually, that might be helpful in your case to reverse engineer your old stuff as opposed to just going back to try to compose something.
Well, the reverse engineering was really to try to figure out how, certain parts of the code worked, the 6502. I figured a lot of it out, and there's some things I just still couldn't really work out how it worked. But the musical side of it, I still know, and I still remembered how I did the stuff musically. So I knew what I had to do from the musical side of it, from the arranging side of how to try to use the limitation of the three voices. Just try to get something that sounded reasonably like the stuff from the 80s is quite difficult.
Yeah, I guess it helped having the old player.
Yeah, I used the old Bobbit sample player as well.
Yeah. You said it was a bit like torture, or more like torture, but once you were done, wasn't it the same kind of relief, so to speak, or did you feel any sort of relief that it's over, or, oh my God, I created something again, or anything of the sort? Or was it just torture?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of the things worked out better than others, So there was a couple of newer things that I did. A couple of the tunes were based on other things that I'd written previously. So, yeah, I think it's a bit of a mixture as well. Bit of a real mixed bag of stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, you were satisfied with it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, yeah. But, it's not something that I could just keep doing over and over again like I did in the 80s,
Especially if you describe it as torture, then perhaps not.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, we wanted basically to get a feel for what you think of this whole 8-bit symphony thing and your general feeling of excitement or dread,
how you
dread,
prepare.
dread, or how you're preparing and all of that.
Well, yeah, I'm excited about it. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good opportunity. I just hope that at the end of it, we've got the score and we've got the parts for a full 90-minute concert. And Chris Abbott has been getting some people to do some videos that's going to be shown with it.
Yeah.
So there's going to be video clips as well, along with the orchestra playing. And one of the things we've talked about is that we hope that we might be able to get some other town or some other country to be able to put on a similar concert with another orchestra, seeing that most of the hard work is already done.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We've got all the score, we've got the parts, we've got the video clips, we've got all that stuff ready to go. So, we may be able to come across to Europe somewhere and put on a concert somewhere else. We'd like to do that.
That would be awesome.
Well, Gothenburg is nice this time of year.
Oh, yeah, we'd love to go across,
Well, finally, I do have a question from Chris.
Yeah.
And the question goes, do you think people should get off their artists and come to Hull?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think that people need to come and show their support and come to the concert, definitely.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening over there and a lot of good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the strongest reason. If you could just put it in a nutshell, what is the strongest reason why they have to come?
Well, because if it doesn't happen anywhere else, it's going to be the only completely unique opportunity to hear this stuff performed live. Also to meet all the people who've put in all the work behind getting this thing organised. There's been an awful lot of work has gone into this, and it will be a real shame if people missed out on it, didn't support it.
Yeah,
It's what it says on the tin, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
indeed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then just a final question, I think that after the concert...
Will you get drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
carry on.
Because I guess now you are fully focusing on the concert, but after the concert, any plans that you would want to share with the people?
Well, after the concert, I'm going away for a week. I'm going off for a holiday for a week.
That's a good plan, definitely.
Yeah. But I have like some other orchestral pieces that I've done that I would love to get played, and I would love to do some more elaborate orchestrations of some of the old stuff as well. Maybe
That sounds
rewrite
awesome.
some of the pieces, and I would love to get those played.
Okay, we are looking forward to that, definitely.
Yeah.
So let us know when you are actually starting on that project. We would be interested to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would happen. Like I said, I think Chris and I might also like to think about the possibility of getting these scores recorded, maybe with a professional orchestra through some kind of Kickstarter campaign to pay for it.
That would be very nice.
Yeah.
So, maybe go over to Prague or something, record something over in Eastern Europe with an orchestra.
Yeah.
And so that we can get a proper recording of it. That would be kind of cool.
That would be not kind of cool. That would be fucking awesome.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Beautiful cities, by the way, and probably it costs even less if you do the orchestration there.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, we've got all the score, we've got all the parts, everything's ready to go in that respect. We'd have a lot better idea of the funding for it. And we could probably persuade the guy who's conducting it to be able to do it as well.
Yeah, and I think after the concert itself, it will be easier because then you have more people that will have heard the actual concert and want a proper recording of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've talked about that, and hopefully that might happen, maybe through a Kickstarter or something like that.
That would be very, very nice.
Indeed. And if you need any promotion, then we are up for it.
Are you guys coming to the concert?
Of course.
Absolutely, yes.
Of course.
I'll be there.
Yeah. We'll be sitting right next to you, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on the balcony, on the front row of the balcony somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
we are
here.
too.
Same here. So, yeah. I've been part of the project since day one. So,
Okay, well, you should come up and say hello to us.
well, definitely I'll be sitting right there, so
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing those things with us. And I think everyone is looking forward to this. So they will be so happy to hear more details now.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks on Saturday.
yeah, definitely.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time.
Have a nice
Okay,
evening.
no problem.
Thanks.
Bye
Bye
bye.
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 A nice short request from Matthias Sahal or Sahal, Spy vs. Spy orchestral version. And this was played thanks to Methanoid, who requested this song. During the interview, you could also hear some sort of requests. We thought that we wouldn't interrupt it with our speaking at least, but definitely with some songs, if it worked for you. And yeah, this was our short chat on phone with Rob Hubbard on Sunday evening, so a few days before. And he's also looking forward to the event just like us. And I think after we play the next song, we will have the quiz for the tickets. So any one of you who is on the fence but maybe plans to come, and special request for those who actually plan to come but for some reason they don't have their ticket yet. So those people who actually can use the ticket, please write to us a private message later on when you recognize our tracks that we will play, like half second, 1 second of the track. But until then, we still have some requests to play. And Banan, I believe one of your requests was played earlier, indeed, during the interview. And this next one is Peter Clark and Flimbo's Concerto, Opus 12 in C major remix.
Nice one. And I just put a picture up from the first bit live with me in it, standing between Rob Hubbard and Fred Gray.
Oh, poor you.
Ben Daglish is there too.
Oh,
and Anthony Crowder.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah.
Awesome. making friends with all those people. Nice. Okay, so people, are you up for a quiz or anything sorts? And we can tell that they will be Hubbard related, definitely. But more about this later on. And give us a heads up if you are still with us. Hope you didn't fall asleep. So here comes Peter Clark and Flimbo's Concerto, Opus 12 in C major remix. Peter Clark and Flimbo's Concerto.
And a bit jollier than the other songs so far.
Yeah, because Flimbo's Quest is generally jolly, and if anyone does a sad remix out of that song, then, well, I would be really
Is that
surprised.
a challenge?
Yeah, I think so. Now I definitely gave you a challenge, because it's like, from this song, it's completely impossible unless you change the pitches, and I forgot the technical term for that. But if you change the major minor things there, the keys, yeah, then maybe you are able to do that, but probably not with the original melodies. That would be a challenge.
Yes.
So I think that we arrived now to our quiz, and if anyone feels like to join, then only one criteria: if you are on the fence and you might want to come but you don't have your ticket, or you can't afford your ticket, then you might get now one from us. We have 4 tickets to give away, and we only have a little quiz for you. It's a Hubbard tune, and we have a half-second preview and a 1-second preview, and we will see how you are doing with those. If you don't do that well, then, well, maybe we have to figure out something else, but, well, how about me playing the first preview? And
it's the same preview. Hold on. Hi, we're back.
that was really making sense, Slaygon. Yeah, it is the same preview, of course. I would probably give the 1-second preview. How about that?
Let's start with a half-second and see if anyone catches it. People are really good at that sort of thing, actually. And also, Board says tonality. Thank you. Instead of key.
And Malthus asks, if I win another ticket, may I park my butt on 2 seats at Hull? Well, Malthus, it's up to you what you do with that, but it would be nice if someone who would actually come would have the other ticket. Or if you wanted to invite your girlfriend or boyfriend, and so far you didn't make up your mind, this is also a good occasion. And you only have to guess this little ditty for that, and you can write us private message. The first 4 people would probably count here, and I'm not entirely sure how to do this with all the channels, but we will check the timestamps probably how you sent the messages, so you can be all tuned on IRC, YouTube or Facebook, and we will check who is the soonest. But on YouTube, I don't think that you are able to write private message. You know what? You know what? If you feel like you can use the comment section, then, because I think that's the best option that we have right now on YouTube, at least. So, is everyone ready? Are we ready?
I don't know. Matthias just asked, do you answer right here in the chat? Send a private message.
Yeah, probably it would be better to send a private message, but I don't know if people can be so fast, and it's a kind of question in my head as well.
We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, if you can aim for a private message on the platform that you are listening, send us a private message. If not, then definitely comment. Okay, and then we will see the earliest comments, just so you know. And then everything you have to arrange is your traveling, because you will have your concert ticket if you are amongst the 4 soonest. And in case not that much people want to go or can afford to go, then we might consider actually a pair of tickets as well, but we will see how much of an interest is this game here. So
we'll see if anyone even catches which one this is.
Yeah, exactly. So here I come with the half-second preview. Wow.
That loops.
That loops, yeah. Yeah, that was, well, I will switch off the loop. Hang on a minute. Let's get back. Yeah. So, anyone feels like it's familiar? We are waiting for, like, hang on a minute, Martin. Last Z8?
V8 probably, last
no,
V8.
But that is not really the one, I think. Are you there?
I am here.
And you are reading the comments and messages.
Yes, I am. Sorry.
And those two are completely from the same track, you say?
They are.
Okay. Yeah.
Conrad said, what about stream delays?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good question.
Well, it's actually taking a bit of while now anyway, so yeah. I don't think we need to worry about stream delays.
Yeah, we will see.
Bob just sent me a message, and no, Bob, it is not Warhawk.
Oh, yeah, it's we tried to aim for not the most well-known tunes, but you can know it. So there's a chance you know it. And, well, what about the 1 second preview then?
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Well, that was on loop. Sorry. So, back to the...
Someone says sanction for sure in a public comment. No, it is not sanctioned.
So.
You have a message on Facebook from Board, I think.
Oh, from... Hang on a minute. No Board. It's not Commando.
Bob says Commando too.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's a very obvious choice. It would be, I think, but this is why we were aiming for something that is not that obvious. So just now people are going through the Hubbard tunes, I suppose.
Well, we have one winner at least.
Oh, and who is that?
I don't know if we should say anything just yet.
Okay. And no Banan, it's not Crazy Comets. And well, yeah, Martin, also keep trying. And no, GCS is not a good answer if you heard it. I mean, you can say that you already heard it, but you have to tell the title.
Matthias says, but I want it to be Crazy Comets. We have a message to Slay Radio, which is also correct. So we have 2 winners so far.
Haha.
Loisa Flip, wait a minute, it faded away. Loisa Philip sent a message to us, which is also correct.
Okay, so we have 2 winners so far.
Yes, we do.
Aha. Guys.
So do you want the girlfriend or boyfriend package? I guess is the next question.
Should we give away girlfriend and boyfriend packages? You think?
I don't know.
Oh, we have 3 winners, it appears so.
Oh, cool.
Look at that, Martin.
Well done, Martin.
So should we wait for a 4th one? Guys, is there any need for that? Or you can actually join us? And someone can bring a special guest, probably the first successful someone who was trying. Waiting. And we are waiting and waiting. I think that we would have to set up a timeline here.
Yeah, well, the correct answer that was sent to Slay Radio, he can't go anyway, so he's gracefully giving that, passing that ticket on to someone else who gets it right.
Hang on a minute. Who?
That sent a private message to Slay Radio, Loisa Philip.
Okay. So we stay by the pair or couple packages, maybe?
I guess so.
Look at that.
Michael asks, I wonder how many could lip read Kenneth when he muted the show. And Board asks, are you picking all 4 winners on this tune? Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time to prepare this quiz, so we might actually save the other 2 for the next show or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. And please, if you who successfully did this quiz cannot go for some reason, let us know, please, because then we can pass the tickets to those who actually can go. So I guess for now, we can actually play this Sid. How about that? We can show the people which was that. And then what are we settling with now? 2 winners?
Yeah, we have 2 winners at least, yes.
Okay, okay. So let's confirm these with them, that they can actually make it. And yeah, we might wait with the next two with to the next show. Or if the 2 winners are really adamant about the fact that they want to take someone else as well, then they can have probably another ticket, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So, people, can I tell now? What was that?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, this was Formula 1 Simulator made by Rob Hubbard, and actually we will play it just to prove our point, I guess. Hang on a minute, that's not the one. This is certainly not the one. Where was that snippet cut out from? Because...
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's that one.
You think?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That, you hear it.
Formula One simulator by Rob Hubbard, and we definitely had winners, and it appears that we will have a quiz next week as well. It very much looks like.
Yeah, and we'll be a little bit more prepared.
Yeah, probably. We will have A, B, C, D options just to make sure. So anyone who didn't buy a ticket yet is stay tuned because, well, we will definitely have something. And there's an interesting request here in front of me made by Martin Land, and he said, Symphonic Shades, there should be something like that. Heard it on German radio. Yeah, there is, because, well, Symphonic Shades is Chris Hulsbeck's album, but I suppose you don't want to hear an entire album, right? So it's most probably Shades and some sort of symphonic version of that. And since we have a lot of, especially album kind of things in front of us here.
Yeah, I wonder where I put my album with that thing. It's somewhere. Or maybe I didn't actually rip that one yet.
Okay.
So it's upstairs.
And until then, we can actually try to play this. This is certainly Sing Symphonic Shades, and I guess it's from the album made by Chris Hulsbeck and performed by the Philharmonic Choir Prague. So let's check this thing out. Martin, hope that this is what you were requesting for.
Stream title?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I just couldn't make up my mind. And we are on air. Haha.
Just so you know, we had a Zoom title now, so it should be updated there.
Is it over yet?
So,
now
are
we
there
can
yet?
talk.
Are we
Guess
there
what?
yet?
Yeah, now we can talk. And we could also talk during the song. I don't know if you have noticed.
Shit happens, and then you forget to push a button.
Oh, and Martin says, really, that would be our perfect birthday present since we both have consecutive birthdays on June 6th and 7th. Yes, happy birthday, Martin.
Happy birthday!
And to
we
your
have
girlfriend
ours too.
as well. Yeah, we have ours too, but 1 week later. So it's 12th and 16th. So excellent.
Perfect.
Excellent. And see you in Hull, and make sure you reserve a flight. Just a tip.
It's gonna take a bit of time to walk.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there are few options, depends on where you come from, but London is definitely one of those. And of course, takes a few hours train ride from there. So to London, there are very frequent flights, pretty much from everywhere, I think. And our only reason that we go actually straight to Hull is because we kind of had at that time frame that was better for us to have that direct flight there. So it's not even a direct flight because we also have to change flights, I think, right? In Amsterdam or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So London is pretty much
timing wise it worked better with the change of flights to get to Hull in a decent time. And Matthias asks, okay, Slaygon should push buttons again? It's okay. Well, I guess so. Otherwise, we'll just run the whole show with microphones open.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Oh, Board says he was actually looking seriously at sailing to Hull. That would be interesting.
Oh, that is a very nice. I hope Board is coming, by the way.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Board. I hope you are coming. By the way, we have our tickets to Bergen, just so you know.
Yes.
We we will be there for sure.
We certainly will.
Yeah.
And this time Boz will join us as well.
Yeah, exactly. We already have the ticket for him as well. Because someone, I don't know who was that, was thinking in advance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was someone doing that?
Someone did that. Amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So and you have a lot of options. That someone was looking around very, very carefully on the market, and that someone can tell you that Skyscanner is not your only option to find reasonable flights. So just so you know, sometimes it's worth to check the connections and the potential big cities, how you can get to one place and to another, because not all of those things are encoded into Skyscanner's algorithms, I think. So
I never used Skyscanner.
I sometimes did, but it just depends what you want. I can tell you that to London there are always cheap flights, and sometimes you can find some last-minute flights as well that are very reasonable. And I fairly recently noticed that tickets to, well, I call it my hometown. Actually, it's not entirely my hometown, but Budapest I always considered as my kind of second home. To that city, for example, Wizz Air just does sometimes this kind of tendency that in the last three weeks, the ticket prices start to drop. I don't know for what reason. And 2 months before...
Maybe they haven't filled all the seats.
Yeah, 2 months before, they have this enormous prices, which you don't understand. And if you are not into buying plane tickets regularly, you might believe that, I won't get a better price. Now it's 2 months before, I have to buy it. No, not always. You don't always have to buy it, just so you know. So now still you can find reasonable connections. I'm pretty sure about that. And go ahead, and happy birthday again, Martin. It's very nice, and it will be nice to meet you as well, because we will be there too.
Indeed. And Board says, yes, Hull it is, or Hull it will be, rather, and 75% of fast loaders are joining. So,
nice.
I guess that will be Shell and Jarle.
Yeah, nice.
Kjetil, sorry. Shell. Where did I get that from? Kjetil.
If Kjetil hears you now.
Yeah. They will arrive at 1400 hours on Friday. What time do
Cool.
we arrive?
We arrive earlier. We arrive on Thursday evening.
All right.
Yep. And by the way, we will arrive to Bergen as well, like Thursday evening. So finally, some time to sightseeing. Looking forward to that. So yeah, amazing.
I need to get a raincoat.
Oh yeah, definitely. You have to. I already have some. A
I
few.
know.
Yeah, willingly preparing for Bergen. Yeah, indeed. So, how about playing a song?
I think that sounds great.
Martin, Ibis Hotel Hall, just so you know. So we stay at Ibis Hotel. And probably a lot of other people as well.
Probably.
And there are other options like Holiday Inn there, but it's like 5 minutes walk away, and you know, it's like really there are not really big distances there. Now, still, if you check it up on booking, then probably you will find some free rooms. At the moment when we were reserving, I think it was like 7 rooms left or so. So you can check it out. Anyway, let's play a song. What do you think about that? Let's. Okay. I thought that since Mano was not requested today, and he is a pretty amazing, symphonic remixer. Not only symphonic, but he does pretty amazing symphonic remixes. How about playing a remix from Mano as well?
That sounds great.
Okay.
Great. I say great.
Yeah. For a moment, I thought that it started to loop without any reason, sort of.
Yeah. And yes, that was my foot on the lower corner of Ziona's camera there.
Yep. Tanek was
Yeah, it
asking.
kinda look, on the cameras, it looks like we're in two entirely different rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, but we are not. We are sitting almost next to each other,
Yeah, actually,
divided
we
by
can
a little
do
table.
this.
Hi. So yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, and we have about 25 minutes left of today's show, just so you know. And I think there is a request here from Malthus, who apparently visits Sweden next week as well.
Oh,
But
next
he-
week.
Yeah. You know, birthday of John.
All right.
All right. Yeah, exactly. So he will be here.
Yes, I know, but I forgot.
Yeah, he will be here for a while. And then the next week, the upcoming week, we will also meet him in Hull, I think. And he wants to hear Ultima 4 orchestral version by Chosh. Because reasons. Well, I have no idea what reason.
Those are pretty good reasons.
Aha, right. Anyway, let's play it.
Let's.
That is not that show now.
Oh,
We
no.
don't have such things now.
No whoop today.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. And seems like we have time for probably 2 more songs, I think. And Barlow, unfortunately, Visa Röster a cappella songs, they don't really qualify as symphonic, I think.
Or
I mean,
orchestral.
or orchestral. That's the problem. We would love to play that, but maybe next week we will. So I tried to find a symphonic version of Human Race for you, but is there anything like that, Slaygon? I don't remember now any of those.
No, me either.
Yeah, unfortunately, we tried our best, but so far with less of luck. And Risto was just having one more question. Will you both be in Hull 2? Maybe. Of course we will. I'm about to come. Maybe some other 64 die-hard fans from Finland too. I'm sure they will. Of course, from Finland, the home of Assembly Party, the most ancient Demoscene party. I think they will.
Yes.
Certainly. Definitely. So yeah, I think that we can actually say partially that Finland is the home of Demoscene in that sense. I think that was the case. The first party was assembled there.
Well, define demo scene. If you say demo scene, I would say there probably were more parties in Sweden than anywhere else.
Probably later
Yeah.
on, but we are talking
No,
about the
earlier
first
on.
earlier on.
Earlier on in the 80s.
And Tanek asks, is there any Liljadal song orchestra version? Well, I really have to check that up. That's a really good question.
We do have work in progress in there in the 8-bit symphony folder. Which ones were they?
Hang on a minute. Oh, hang on. Green Beret, William Wobbler, Monty on the Run, I guess.
Yeah.
Monty's Journey. And I think that, well, you know what? The next song I prepared because I noticed a change in all-time favorite ranks on Remix 64. And everyone has to know about that because last year, Fast Loaders won actually the remix, the 64 Remix of the Year award. And they will be soon posted. We really promise that because now we have the post boxes for that as well. So great. I bought them yesterday. Yeah, we just slightly forgot about that. Never mind. But yeah, they are on the way. So yeah, sure, we will make it. Anyway, Commando High Score was the best remix of the year last year. And it was all-time rank first for a while, if I remember correctly.
It even beat Signify.
It beats Signify. The guys are currently on the 3rd place. Commando High Score is on the 2nd place because on the 1st place there is someone coming up again who was there for a while with the same song, but this is the new version of it. And guess which one it is?
Firelord.
Yes, it's Glenn R. Brown's Firelord from 8-bit Symphony version. And I thought that before we say goodbye today, well, at least one before the last song, we should definitely play this because, well, this is from the 8-bit Symphony and it's made by Glyn and currently it's all-time favorite of all 64 remixes available on Remix 64.
Excellent. Brilliant.
Wow, yeah, it is. And it took the leadership from any other remix on the remix scene.
Of course.
Of course it did.
The RKO rankings aren't the same without Glyn at the top.
Yeah, and Glyn is, Glyn is 3 times in the top 10, just so you know. So with 3 songs still. It's first of them is Fire Lord from 8-Bit Symphony, which he released on the January 11 this year. And the 5th one is Rustan, which is a forever classic, I think too. It's from 2004. And the 9th one is Times of Lore, also from the 8-Bit Symphony. And sadly enough, we won't have time to play that anymore, but we were preparing with a wind down for you, which is a preview that you couldn't heard yet, because this is also a preview from 8-Bit Symphony, just to kind of stay tuned, everyone, because the concert will happen in 16 days and very similar great songs will be performed there. So join us in case you didn't get your ticket. We still have 2 tickets to give away next week. And don't forget that the next week we will have the show on Tuesday instead of Thursday, because reasons. Because I have reasons. Actually, I won't really be around Thursday, so that is why. And the following week it will be also a Tuesday, since there is Hull coming, and since, of course, on a Thursday we wouldn't be able to make it. So 2 Tuesdays will follow now, and after that. After that, probably we will shift back to this day, because this is the only day that doesn't collide with Boss Radio's schedule at the moment. And no, not because we are vicious or taking over anyone else's place, just so you know, this is not the reason. So Boss Radio, if we speak about Boss Radio, by the way, they have live shows almost all days, every day.
You can check that on bossradio.com/shows.
Yeah. Or just click on the schedule. That will show up soon here. Yeah, exactly. I'm always waiting for that. So even tomorrow there will be a live show, and on Saturday even 2 of them, Sunday and Tuesday, and then regular Wednesday boss show as well. So, and it might actually happen that boss will do also an appearance on Slay Radio, but about that I'm not entirely sure yet, so let's confirm this. But I already informed him that
we'll know soon enough.
Yeah, exactly. That he can definitely make it, probably next Thursday if he wants to. Anyway, well, thank you everyone for your great attention today, or half attention, and we are really happy that you kept up with us and the symphonic tracks, and we are even more happy if we can meet you in Hull within like 2 weeks, because we will be certainly there, and we can't wait that to happen. Next week, next Tuesday, still we give away 2 tickets, so just remember, we will be here on air, and there will be some sort of quiz, and if you are up for it and you don't have your tickets yet, just come and yeah, help us to make sure that those tickets are going to the right place. We want to make sure of that. So, and what else is left to talk about?
Nothing. Bye then.
I did all the talking. You can actually say anything you want here. Yeah. Banana. Great. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we will be back on 4th of June. Stay tuned as usual.
As usual.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us tonight. See you then.
Indeed, and see you live in about 2 weeks as well. And you prepared Monty's Journey here,
Yes.
right? Okay, instead of Greenberry, which was one of my favorites, but anyway, never mind. It's Monty's Journey, and this is a preview from the 8-bit symphony as well. So have fun with that. Have a good night. Thank you all for tuning in and listening or watching us, and see you next week on Tuesday. Bye.